Hello everyone and welcome back to Dragalia Foundry, a fan channel where everything Dragalia Lost can be found. In this video, we'll be playing through and talking about the story of the Agents of the Goddess facility event. I'm going to start off with some gameplay of some new content that released this past week. This event has been out for about a week or so, but just a couple of days ago, we got an update to it with some harder content, and I have yet to check that out. So we're going to start off with that, and as we go along, I'll also talk about my overall impressions on this event, including the story and what I think it means for the future of Dragalia Lost. You obviously want to do this event, just like with any facility event, and I'll card out to a guide that I've made on those in general, so if you need help with it, hopefully that is still a good resource for you. But basically, when it comes to facility events, you want to do them to max out a facility that is going to provide you permanent stat boosts to certain types of adventurers in your collection. And these facilities also, within the context of the event, give you a damage boost that is exclusive to quests in that event. So the main reason to do these events is to get these facilities, in this case the Statue of Ilia. I've leveled mine up to 30. This is going to permanently help me as far as my axe and staff wielding adventurers, and then obviously have this temporary bonus for the event itself. Other things to do in these events are to try get up to 1 million sanctity in this case. These exclusive rewards from this list are always tied to a slightly differently named item. In this case it's sanctity. In the past it's been other things like valor, glory, etc. So there's lots of names that they give to whatever the item is that you're trying to grind up for this, but in this case it's called Sanctity. They're essentially points you earn after every quest that you do in this event. And then there's also a treasure trade, and one of the cool things this time around is midway through the event, when they added the hard quest that I talked about, they also added some new things to these. So the Sunlight Ore is kind of nice. There's some other things in here, like Abaddon Orbs, which are tier 4 orbs, kind of hard to accumulate and get. 4-leaf clovers, Fafnir metals, and so they've done a little bit to refresh the traditional formula as far as facility events. It's still very similar, but basically the way this event worked was there was a story. In this case, you actually could kind of skip through the story. You didn't have to read it to play the main content of the event, which are these challenge battles and boss battles. The Nightmare difficulty one you want to do every day to collect the Grand Bounty. The other ones are good for grinding up Sanctity. And the boss battles, especially expert difficulty, are good for grinding up materials to craft your facility or build and level up your facility. One thing to note in this event is when you do expert, you can unlock EX, but there's not a way to accumulate or stack instances of EX. So as soon as you unlock it, you want to use it before you start doing any more experts or anything like that. That's one difference between this and raid events, and between this and onslaught and defensive events as well. And I should note, it's kind of confusing because the EX battle appears here below everything, so you wouldn't even see, like unless you scroll down and you forgot you had unlocked it, like you wouldn't even see it immediately to let you know you had. Anyway, what we're going to play through first is Smiting the Haughty Demon. It's this new trial battle that they added. I guess they grouped it in here with the boss battles. But if you've played through the story, you know who we're about to fight, and if you haven't, this may come as a surprise to you. So let's go ahead and get into it. If you want to look away, now's your chance to do so. I'm using a fairly basic team here, just playing it safe. I know people are tired of shadow teams. Unfortunately, even though the characters on the banner were of a variety of elements, they made the bosses in this light element, so it just favors shadow by default because it's a light element boss. So what are you going to do? We're using shadow. However, we're obviously using Yuden for player XP. Hopefully I don't get punished too hard for that. I don't expect this to be a hard battle, or particularly hard to where it would be, impossible to use him. I've brought along some healing, some defense in this team. As you can see, I had Patya, have Galaclea who has healing, and Heinwald who has healing as well. So hopefully that's enough to sustain us. But yeah, we're fighting the Otherworld Ramiel here. So that is our opponent. I fought this on standard difficulty. One of the kind of annoying things about Ramiel is his untelegraphed attacks have pretty high priority. Like you could see how he just bullied Yuden when he lunged. It's kind of like the standard difficulty dragon trials in a lot of ways. A lot of those trials, the dragons just dash at you randomly, and it knocks you down or makes it so it's hard to do anything. Looks like we're making pretty good progress on the HP bar, but I know from the standard difficulty that there's more than one. We have a fairly safe... Oh, that was bad. I was going to say we have a fairly safe double buff setup though, so we're giving and receiving a lot of defensive buffs. That should keep us in a, good position to just survive through all of this. Now we've unlocked Overdrive. Let me cast my Sparrow's Guard. Looks like you can't burn Ramiel, since we saw that yellow resist text. Oh. That was an unnecessary roll for us. That was not good either. So now we're blinded. One of the nice things about being blinded, you can still debuff, so you can do things like bleed. Let's go ahead and finally use our dragon. I mean, we've been sitting on it for a while. Galamars, you want to use the skill so you can charge up a second use, and I think I'm just going to sit in this. Yeah, nice. We got our second skill off in time. Once Galamars activation finished, all our skills are ready to go, and I haven't had to iframe for my team or anything like that, but this could be bad. I might have wanted to pull off a little bit sooner here. Luckily the AI did a fine enough job. That move in general can be kind of brutal. The twins do that as well in the expert difficulty. I don't know about the standard, but they do that, and in my auto of expert twins, it's kind of a pain because Gala Ellie doesn't fall down, and so she just if you get to that point, you kind of lose because she just stands there and takes all of the hits of the rotating beam. So you really need to break before then in that. Alright, I mean, we moved away that time because we didn't really have a dragon to use. Let's probably should move away from this. This doesn't look too good for us either. But our little sidekicks are healthy, so that's good. Man, that comes out fast. Didn't have time to iframe. I don't think we can break through this, so let's just walk away. Okay, I guess we can, but the laser gets stuck. Man, our damage feels so low. Either that or if they just made the HP on this high. What kind of weapons did they balance this around? Oh well. I think we're very good shape to clear here without any deaths. Alright, that's time we Dragon Transformation to save ourselves from the embarrassment of getting blinded again. And we'll get another Dragon skill off. And I think we're going to be wrapping up shortly. We'll do our buffs first, and then use our debuff. Go ahead and heal everybody. And looks like Pati got the final blow. Nice, so yeah, that was fairly straightforward. I mean, I think you can do this in co-op if you're having difficulty with this, which is a nice thing about it. With facility events, it's so solo-oriented. Like the main content, the wave-based battles, cannot be done in co-op, so I'm sure it's a convenience and a plus to some players that they can do this fight in co-op. And you definitely want to do this because there are some shadow tomes locked behind this as well. Wow, yeah, we did really badly. So obviously you want to try finish this in about 90 seconds based on that. So we took a long time. That's unfortunate. I don't know how much Yuden really sandbagged us, or if it was maybe the inclusion of a more defensive team, but that's okay. We managed to do it. We've gotten our daily sanctity, but we have to defeat the Light Manticore one more time today. So I'll go ahead and open that up. I'll just do one of the Divine Deliverance challenge battle maps so you can see the Manticore fight and kind of the wave-based thing. For this, I didn't try use a points accumulating team for that Ramiel EX, but if you hit the history button here, this is like the team I've been using. I don't really know why Ieyasu's on there. I just had him like on a default team on one of my pages with gold Fafnirs, so that's why I ended up using him and just keeping him on my team. But yeah, overall the gameplay in this event has been fine. Any event where it's light enemies just feels like cheating because Shadow does even more damage. At least if it's another element, Shadow does neutral damage. But this event has kind of felt a little too easy because of that. But on the other hand, we know some balance updates are coming to make other elements stronger as well, so that's good. And what I did like about this event a lot was the storyline. I'm a fan personally of when really big beats that pertain to the main story happen in the side events. I know I've read some comments that not everybody is a fan of that. They feel left out if they missed an event. But I like how keeping up with the events on the side can give you some insight into the main campaign and overall lore and world of Dragalia Lost. I think in this event, we learned a lot about the Northern Church of Ilia, the Church of Grams, the relationship between South and North Grastia. We learned about the various apostles, I believe it's 4 archangels, Sandolphin. We learned about Ramiel, and apparently an otherworld Ramiel. And then at the very end, we got a teaser that the person that Pinon looked up to, somebody named Basilius, who is supposed to be like the best apostle ever, was actually working for some shady characters, including Harl. So maybe they're hinting at something that will actually come to fruition in the main campaign. But regardless of that, or if that's another side event or something in the main campaign, overall I think the thing I liked about this was just, the production value, the music, the characters were charming. I ended up liking Pinon a lot more than I expected. I like her well enough, but I can't handle her ears or hair floofies. I don't know what they are. It's too much for me. Like, it's a little bit over the top. But as far as her character traits and her personality, I liked how she interacted with Nevin. And Nevin, when he started calling himself Papa Bear, man, I had to go for Nevin. So as you can see by my Wormite, I did end up doing some more summoning after I posted my last video with like a couple hours left before the Gala banner ended. It was pretty good, actually. I got some dragons, so now my Thor is max unbound, and I also got Nevin, which is cool, and that's the point at which I decided to stop summoning. I didn't want to go below 40k. I spent like 20 singles, a tenfold, and then like 6 to 7, maybe 8k Wormite because I was getting close to 50. But yeah, I ended up getting them. Unfortunately, Nevin, character-wise or like gameplay-wise, doesn't seem that good. Like, he doesn't seem to do anything for me, but design-wise and like personality-wise, I just really loved his style of relying upon his subordinates and like being super laid back. I thought that was sweet. So yeah, I like the characters in this event, honestly, more than I expected. I'm not like a fan of the suits aesthetic or the angelic aesthetic that Ramiel had. But in the end, I actually kind of like this event. So that's kind of my take on it. Nothing too profound. It wasn't my favorite event, but I think that this sets up the future in a cool way. Like, similar to how we got with the New Year's event and finding out about what's happening in Hinamoto. This kind of sets up a new scene of the world that we knew very little about in the form of the Northern Church and these archangels. It's interesting that there are archangels who are dragons, but there are also demons that are not dragons. If you were building a faith in a world of dragons, it kind of makes sense that a dragon could be like an angel or something like that, but likewise you would think a dragon might be able to be like a demon. So it's kind of weird that Morsayati's in its own class. Like, Morsayati maybe should just be like a dark dragon, But I guess there's 3 categories of beings in this world. Mortals, dragons, and fiends. And I say fiends in a separate category, even though they seem to be mortal, because we remember from the Time Worn Torment raid that our main nemesis, the fiend in that event, I'm forgetting his name, but he indicated that fiends are not mortal. So I don't know. I guess that might just be him. Anyway, y'all, I'm going on, but this was pretty fun. Nice to check out the, hard content of this, and otherwise just kind of ride out the event. It's been kind of slow, but it's been a cute event, so I liked it. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. Thank you as always for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.